Okay, so this is going to be a comparison video comparing the Rode VideoMic NTG to the Comica VM20. I purchased both mics with my own money, and I basically just wanted to review them because initially I had purchased the Comica VM20, and there were certain aspects of it that didn't quite feel like it fit for me. So I wound up getting the Rode VideoMic NTG, and I will probably be sticking with that. But I really wanted to do this kind of comparison video and sit down and actually post this for other people so that other people will get a feel for how these mics sound with a female voice. Because I watched lots and lots and lots of reviews, honestly, on both mics, and typically there are lots of male reviewers out there, which for 99% of gear doesn't really matter. But in this particular instance, when it comes to microphones, women's voices tend to be pitched higher. So lots of guys with like a bassier sound are gonna sound very different on these microphones than I will. So trying to find someone who I can compare to was difficult. They were still useful, but they just weren't as useful as having somebody who was an actual woman, female person, talking basically into the microphone. In that same vein, I am currently using a Rode VideoMic NTG attached to / fed into basically a Tascam DRO7X. The gain is currently set to 6, and this should be how it pretty much sounds. Mostly out of the gate, I haven't really done anything to it. I might have to raise the levels. I probably will have to raise the levels in an editing software, because when you take it out of the actual computer to do the editing, for whatever reason, it doesn't actually sound the same as the way it does when you listen to it directly in the Tascam. But basically, this is just to kind of get a sound. So I will speak live, reading off the same passage into both microphones. Just keep in mind, please, I am not an audio professional by any stretch at all whatsoever. So just keep that in mind. I am doing my best to normalize both. I guess I will keep them both on the gain of 6, because both microphones do actually have a turn knob basically at the, I'll show it on the Comica. It has a dial here at the back that for the Comica it goes from 1 to 10. For the Rode, I believe it goes from 1 to 15. I don't typically need more than 10 though on the Rode in my experience. But yeah, I just wanted to make a comparison between the two. They're both very similarly built. They have a high pass filter, although I think it's, they have two high pass filters, I think. One, or a low pass filter, not a high pass filter. High pass filter is actually only on the Rode NTG. The low pass filter, the Comica has a 75 hertz and a 150 hertz. So let me see if I can't get that to right there. So that's the sort of difference. The really nice thing I will say though about the Comica is that it does have a battery, it shows the battery, how much it's actually at through this little screen. That wasn't actually very in focus, sorry, but it would be in this little, basically in this little box, like right here. And it also comes with, just breaking this down because why not? The Comica VM20 comes with a case. It's a really nice case. I like this a lot. Honestly, it's a really sort of strong point into the favor of this. I know a lot of people don't really seem to care quite that much about whether or not their Rode is actually in a case, but honestly, it drives me mad. I really like having it be organized so you can just sort of, zip it up and then just pack it just like this. It's really straightforward. It's really simple. It's really easy. I can't imagine, in a way, not wanting it. So it's also like $150 less than the Rode VideoMic NTG, roughly. I mean, it depends on if you can get it on a discount or sale, because it usually runs about like $130. But I did actually was able to get mine with a coupon for like $107 or so. So there is that. But the Comica comes with a wind muff. Hi. And then actually also comes with a dead cat, which the Rode does not. And in addition to that, also comes with these two cords, which work for both, I believe this one is the TRS, the TRRS to the TRS. and then a TRS to TRS connector. They say you don't need that for the Rode, but personally, in my experience, you only don't need it if you're going to be using a regular video camera and you're going to be plugging the Rode directly into the camera. Otherwise, the TRS, well, it's supposed to be like that you can use it for both. Again, it's supposed to be a universal cable, but I have not had that experience with my Rode, and my Rode is brand new. So, but the cable that comes with it, in my experience, does not actually, at least when I put it into the Tascam, it does not automatically turn on. The Rode does not automatically turn on, and actually, if I try to use the cable it comes with the Tascam, it makes a horrible buzzing noise, and it's terrible, and you can totally tell it's just a bad line. So I have actually had to purchase with my own money because I will be returning the Comica. Spoiler alert. I have had to purchase with my own money basically a TRS and to TRS cable, a little one, so that I can actually hook this up and make this work with the Rode. So that definitely goes to Comica's favor. Honestly, I really love the Comica VM20. If it didn't have this one specific thing that it doesn't do for me specifically and for my voice specifically, I would be keeping this. It's really good for the money that you get. Comes with a shock mount as well. So really everything is there. It's packed really nicely. I really wish it worked for my particular usage case, but I don't think that it will be. Thusly, why I got the Rode. But that's enough talk about that. I will get more into that in depth later, but let me just read off for now what I have for the Rode, and then I will switch over to the Comica, and then I will basically just we'll compare the two with the readout that I have. So, from Western Philadelphia I hail, where in my youth I'd play upon the green, till rue the day I found myself assailed by ruffians contemptible and mean. Although the spat was trivial and brief, it wounded my dear mother deep within. And so, to give her conscience sweet relief, she sent me forth to live amongst her kin. When to my port of call I'd been conveyed, I came upon a coachman most unique. And yet I simply took the trip and paid, despite his cab's decor and fresh mystique. I surveyed all the land with princely mien, in fair Bel Air, where I do lay my scene. So that's all what that sounds like with the Rode. Okay, so now I am recording with the Comica VM20. I have the gain also still set to 6. It is way louder on this than the Rode was set on 6, presumably because the Rode has a higher level of gain input that it can be put on. It basically sounds like what I would say the Rode sounds like on the gain of 10. So I'm actually probably going to lower this just for everybody's sake. So just give me a second here. I'm going to lower this down to about 4 because I find 4 works really well for the Comica, generally just for general talking shots, much more so than 6. With 6 on this, it just sounds like you can hear the entire room. You can hear a lot of echo. You can hear basically any sort of rustling that happens. It's just a lot. So keep that in mind. Between the two of them, they are not exact. But this is basically what the Comica sounds like. Now, in my personal experience with the Comica, the reason why basically I don't think I will be keeping the Comica and instead will probably be going with the Rode is that the Comica is very harsh on its sibilants. So right now, even saying the word sibilants, you should hear that much more intensely and much more clearly than you would otherwise, potentially even with the Rode. So I just happen to have a voice where you can, I already kind of, not exactly spit, but, you know, I'm a little bit harsh on my sibilants, so when that goes through the microphone, it picks it up very, very strongly. I also have that higher pitched voice, and I just need a little bit more of a rounding of my own voice, I think, personally. I think it works much, much better if I sort of, you know, use a deeper microphone, which in my experience and through hearing lots of other reviews, the Rode basically is. It has just a lot more of a bass to it, where the Comica doesn't. And if you happen to be a person who has a really bassy voice, that's great for you. Honestly, more power to you. I would 100% recommend getting the Comica. But if you are like me and you have a higher pitched voice or just speak a little bit more sharply on occasion, you know, this the Comica VM20 may not work for you. So just keep that in mind. I will now read off, though, the passage for the Comica. From western Philadelphia I hail, where in my youth I'd play upon the green, till rue the day I found myself assailed by ruffians contemptible and mean. Although the spat was trivial and brief, it wounded my dear mother deep within. And so, to give her conscience sweet relief, she sent me forth to live amongst her kin. When to my port of call I'd been conveyed, I came upon a coachman most unique, and yet I simply took the trip and paid, despite his cab's decor and fresh mystique. I survey all the land with princely mien, in fair Bel Air, where I do lay my scene. Okay, so that should be it. I do have to mention really quickly, because I kind of forgot to say it in the introduction, that I used a high-pass filter, or no, excuse me, a low-pass filter for both of them. I always keep both of mine on a 75 hertz low-pass filter, because it just keeps out anything that might be rumbling in the background for the most part. It doesn't really make a world of difference in my experience, but it makes a little bit of difference, and it's enough that it's worth it for me. In addition to that, I am currently speaking on the Comica VM20, just to do this last sort of round-out section. Anything else to cover? Oh, yeah, the Rode does not come with a dead cat, where, again, the Comica does. And there's no case that I can really find for it that I found online that really fits it. If anybody has any suggestions they want to leave in the comments, feel free. But basically this is just kind of a comparison again between the two of them. So I hope this was helpful to somebody. I kind of lost my brain a little bit halfway through doing this, but I hope you guys find this helpful and have a great day. Bye!